Friends, UK's past Prime Minister Rishi Sunak had said poor math skills in adults were holding back his country's economy, and that the students without a robust foundation in mathematical skills would be left behind in the working world. He further lamented an anti maths mindset had made Britain one of the least numerate nations in the developed world. Friends, these are very strong words indeed that probably apply to many nations. And that said, the passion to teach and learn mathematics must return. But how is the question? What can be more innovative than incorporating stories, symbols, meditation and problem solving into the teaching lessons, at least for mathematics? That's what we will discuss today. So here we go. Learning mathematics requires a close and focused mind. Meditation and mindfulness, they help the cause. Why cannot we introduce at the start of each maths lesson a short meditation or mindfulness practice to help students clear their minds and focus on the task at hand? Why not fall back a little ancient wisdom, like incorporating stories from ancient texts? Storytelling is by far the best teaching pedagogy. If infinity were to be explained, the story of the ancient Greek mathematician Zeno, who lived in the 5th century BC, comes handy. His dichotomy paradox, Achilles, and the tortoise paradox, are very useful to teach concepts like time, motion, infinity, and nature of reality. Very interesting. Now, the dichotomy paradox states that in order to travel any distance, we must first travel half of that distance and then half of the remaining distance, and so on, ad infinitum. Keep doing that forever. Now, this implies that we can never actually travel any distance, as there will always be an infinite number of smaller distances that must be traversed first. That is infinity for you. Now, there are many concepts which can be taught through symbols and geometry. For example, the ancient Egyptians used hieroglyphs that are a combination of pictures, symbols, and abstract shapes to represent numbers and ideas, while the ancient Greeks used geometric shapes to represent numbers and mathematical concepts. Several have used the ancient Chinese method of finger counting called cheese and bob to solve some complex mathematical problems, such as using fingers on one or both the hands to represent numbers from 1 to 10. Each finger is assigned a numerical value, with the thumb representing 1 and the little finger representing 10. To represent numbers larger than 10, the fingers on both the hands are used in combination. For example, to represent 12, the thumb on the left hand is held down to represent 10, while the index finger on the right hand is held down to represent 2. Now, to represent or perform arithmetic expressions, operations using cheese and bob, the fingers on one or both the hands are manipulated in a certain way to represent the numbers being added, subtracted, multiplied, divided, and so on. Now, this method is found to be fun and engaging and can be used to introduce young children to the world of mathematics. Fun learning. Hindu ancient wisdom too contains many mathematical concepts and methods that can be used to simplify and teach mathematics. Rig Veda cites 16 sutras or aphorisms, and 13 sub-sutras, which provide a set of techniques for mental calculation and simplifying complex mathematical problems. They can be used to teach arithmetic, algebra, and geometry, and can help simplify many mathematical concepts. Assuming 10th root of 1.5 is to be found, what should you do? One can use Nikhilam Navatas Karamam Dashata Sutra. Nikhilam Navatas Karamam Dashata Sutra, which translates to all from 9, Nikhilam Navatas, and Karamam Dashataha, which means Karamam, the last from 10. As far as storytelling as an effective pedagogy goes, many Indian epics can be cited. The famous Battle of Kurukshetra involved the use of various weapons and battle formations which required complex mathematical calculations. Even Arthashastra describes battle formations in simple mathematics language. The construction of a bridge by Lanka by Lord Rama and his army involved the use of geometric calculations and principles such as proportion and geometry and symmetry. The Bhagavad Purana describes the use of decimal systems and the concept of zero in ancient India. In Panchatantra, the story of the lion and the hare involves a mathematical puzzle in which the hare uses his knowledge of geometry to outsmart the lion. Even technology, interactive whiteboards that we use these days in classrooms, online resources making learning mathematics more interactive and engaging, and that is something that must be used extensively in the classrooms, be it schools or be it universities. Removing fear and anxiety towards mathematics learning and fostering creativity and curiosity will make maths more interesting and engaging. Albert Einstein, the German theoretical physicist, once said, "Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas." It's time the British schools adopted a little Indian wisdom to be math-wise. It was interesting, wasn't it? With that, friends, I close this Saturday's episode with a promise to be back the next Saturday with another episode that I'll promise will be equally entertaining. Thank you. Dhanyavad and Namaskar.